Maryland planned for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Securities offered through Arcadius Capital and SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services through Arcadius Wealth. Acres Financial Group and Arcadius do not share any common ownership.
The preceding was a paid program, and the views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of WJZ-FM, Odyssey, its sponsors, or affiliates.
From the Thompson Creek Window Company studios, one window replacement company that does it all. This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the Bruce Cunningham Show. We got a regular Saturday for the first time in a while. Nobody's preempted. Mike Popovic's on after me. We got a great afternoon for you right here on 105.7 The Fan. There's very little mystery as to what we're going to talk about today, for the most part, and that is that Titanic game tomorrow night. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about this. And they were 1-5, and if you would have thought then, that this would be possible tomorrow night, people would have said you were crazy. And so then they snapped to 1-5, but then they start losing a couple more games, big important games, and they really looked dead in the water. They really did. I mean, even as far as last week, I was telling you on this very microphone that I just needed to be over. It was just getting depressing and all of that. So what do? They go out and win, and they set up this winner-take-all matchup with Pittsburgh. And I don't know if any of you have noticed this. Not only is the AFC North and a playoff spot and all of that on the line, there is no Monday night game this week. It is also the final game of the regular season in the NFL. What better way to end it, huh? Many memorable games with the Steelers over the years. The rivalry is what it is. I shared covering 11 of them with Morgan Adsit at Fox 45. She's going to join us this hour, and we're going to talk about the matchup. We're also going to talk about our war stories about going to and from Pittsburgh. See, just to give you a little bit of background logistically, if it's a faraway game, they will fly you. But if it's, quote, drivable, then guess what you're doing? You're driving. So that means the Meadowlands, Philadelphia, Washington, certainly, and Pittsburgh. If you're doing well and traffic doesn't bother you and you have no problems at all, you can make Pittsburgh in just under 4 hours. But that's never true. You always run into something. So Morgan and I will share some more stories over the years covering Pittsburgh. I remember the 2008 AFC Championship. You got to understand that we in the media, we expect certain things. Thank you very much. We expect a seat in the press box and a place to work and all of it. In Pittsburgh, they had the visiting TV people, which was me and Pete Gilbert and I don't know who was there for Channel 2. But anyway, they had us on stools against the back wall. We couldn't even see the field. On a stool, and you got nothing to write on, so I was grumbling the whole game. I was already mad. And then the Steelers came back and won the game, and so it snowed, and it's cold, and I'm out there doing live shots for an hour and a half in the snow, covering my feet up, the snow was that deep, and I'm hearing that stupid song they sing up there. And I'm not going to repeat it for you. But that's probably my most heartbreaking story of going up there. I remember 96, the first season, going in there. And I've told this story many times, but we're on the team buses. I was traveling with the team then. I was doing Ravens radio with Scott and Tom on 101.9 that first couple of years. And I keep hearing this, pum, pum, pum. I'm like, what the hell is that? And somebody kind of gestured out the window, and the Steeler fans are throwing whatever they had at the bus, And Ernest Biner, the veteran running back, he's sitting right across the aisle from me. And I looked at him and I said, man, what is that? And he said, welcome to Vietnam, baby. And that was my introduction to being a visiting team in Pittsburgh. It ain't easy at all. And not to mention 3-year-olds flipping you the bird as you go by. That's always nice, too. But there's a lot of passion on both sides, and I think both sides kind of grudgingly respect each other and respect the rivalry and all that it means and has meant and certainly means tomorrow night. Here's what we know, the very latest. Lamar is going to play. He confirmed that on Thursday. 100% was his phrase. And then we learned yesterday that T.J. Watt is going to play for Pittsburgh. He had that weird injury, lung injury, when he got a shot, and he's been down, but he says he's going to play. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get, but he's going to be in there. Let me caution you about one thing. If you expect Derrick Henry to rush like he did against the Packers, against the Steelers, that's two completely different defenses. I'm not saying don't run him. I'm not saying don't give him 25 touches, but it's a lot tougher to run against Pittsburgh than it is Green Bay. Just keep that in mind. The thing I really want to see from Lamar is how much of that burst he's got back. One thing I really liked about Snoop is how Snoop was able to stand back in a pocket, and when he saw lanes open up, he could take off and run. And Snoop did that a couple times in that game, and I think got first downs every time. I'm not so sure Lamar can do that right now. Boy, if he can, look out, And the Steelers, for crying out loud, all banged up. Metcalf is still suspended. There's a gloomy feeling in Pittsburgh right now. But none of that makes any difference when it comes to this rivalry. And I'm not going to predict the score. I think it's foolish to even try. But here's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be a slugfest, two heavyweights going toe-to-toe, and then it's going to be decided late because they always are. They always are. One thing to keep in mind, if the Ravens win tomorrow night, they will host a playoff game because they'll be a divisional champion. And it's the only way they can get in, certainly, as we know. So I think, there's a pretty good chance we might have a playoff game here. Is this team a playoff caliber team, though? I mean, is it going to be enough for you as a fan just to say, hey, man, they made it. They're in. Because, it looks like they might play Houston the first round, and I don't know that I like that. Lamar's going to play with like a flak vest on tomorrow. I don't know how that's going to affect him at all, but he is going to be out there with it on. Those back shots are tough. And, it's another thing I wanted to bring up. I've been doing a lot of extra work because of the holidays. I came in last Friday. I was in here yesterday. So, I've been talking about a lot of different things. And one thing that's bothering me is I'm hearing from folks, and especially on social media, where they're saying that Lamar, he's not tough or he quit or that, and they're making fun of him for this. And that kind of angers me. Simply because he's got 4 lower body injuries. He's got a hamstring, a knee, an ankle, and a toe problem. And now he's got a back injury on top of that. He's still out there grinding. To me, that's the very opposite of quitting. That's the opposite of quitting, what he's doing now. So we'll see. And like we say, T.J. Watt tomorrow. Also, he's good against the run. And, he also, pass rushing kind of makes his money. So it's, if he's in there, it's not good. The Steelers are going to have to come up with some kind of passing game. From what I understand, they were using the running backs to make sure that the sack record wasn't set last week. They'll be more a part of the passing game this week. The first game this season, Metcalf killed him. I mean, Rodgers and Metcalf were on the very same page. I don't know that he's had a week to come up with a new Metcalf, but he's going to have to because Metcalf will not play. So, if you're looking for a run to football and drain the clock type of game. I don't know that it's going to be that either. I don't know. Interesting factoid as we go in. The AFC North has existed for 23 years. You remember they realigned 23 years ago. There used to be 3 divisions in each conference. There was a East Division, a Central Division, and a West Division. The Ravens were in the Central, along with everybody they're in the North, in addition to Jacksonville and Tennessee. That was the Central Division. But they realigned 23 years ago. And in that time, there's never been a team that's won 3 straight AFC North championships. The Ravens can do that tomorrow. So, I don't know what that means in the big picture or anything, but it's kind of a cool fact. They could make a kind of history tomorrow. So, I don't know. I would just give you the same advice I gave you last week, going into the Packer game. Just sit back, keep your expectations low, and just let the game unfold in front of you. And don't let it kill you. I mean, look, we know this team has underperformed this year. This team has been banged up this year. Nobody expected this team to have this record at this point of the season. But they're still standing. It's like in the national anthem, they gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. The Ravens are still there, as unlikely as it seems. So they're a flawed team right now, but Pittsburgh might be a little bit more flawed. The point spread doesn't give you much information at all. The last time I looked at it, and I'll look at it right now to get the very latest, it's still Ravens minus 3.5, which is fairly meaningless, in the betting world, at least to me. And so, you can draw your own conclusions from that. Maryland took basketball, took it on the chin last night to Oregon. They were not much of a factor at all. I got a feeling, and I hate to say it because we're the flagship, but I got a feeling this might be a long season in College Park. They've had one major injury, and there's not much happening there. That's all I can really tell you at this point. There's not much happening at all. I hope they can rally. College basketball seasons are rarely decided in December or early January. Let's see if they can get their feet under them and maybe bounce back, because we kind of need them to get our blood flowing, don't we? We really do. So Morgan Adza joins us this hour. We'll talk some Ravens Steelers with her. And in the next hour, Rich Dubroff, BaltimoreBaseball.com, will join us. We'll get the update, the latest from a very active offseason for the Orioles, which is not a phrase we use around here a lot, but it was this year. That's all coming up. 410-583-1057. Phones are open. Next segment, 410-583-1057.
The Big Bad Morning Show, Vinny and Haynie, and Inside Access. Watch on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Now you can gawk while we talk. Subscribe at Baltimore 1057 The Fan.
We hope you never need us, but if you're ever injured in an accident, we'll handle everything with trusted guidance and personal attention so you can focus on what matters most, your recovery. Rice Law. Best advice, call Rice.
RiceLawMD.com.
Bring some holiday cheer with the network that knows what you really want. Take your phone to your local Total Wireless store, and we'll give you one line for just $25 a month. Celebrate more for spending less. The holidays just got a lot better. Visit your neighborhood Total Wireless store. For new single-line customers who activate on a BYO device on the Total 5G Unlimited plan. Requires auto-pay enrollment to receive the full discount, which applies the month after enrollment. Available online and in Total Wireless retail stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device and SIM. Check compatibility at TotalWireless.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-880-1212. That's 800-880-1212. Again, that's 800-880-1212.
Hey, Dad, I gotta come clean about something.
Okay.
I only paid for a brand new Hyundai Tucson.
Oh, you might be on the naughty list.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid models. Now, during the final days of the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offers end January 5th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-939-1441. That's 800-939-1441.
The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Sleep all day, out all night. I know where you're going. I don't think that's acting right. You don't think it's showing.
Welcome back. Bruce Cunningham Show on a dreary Saturday in Baltimore. Man, it's cold out there. I stopped to get gas this morning. And not to stick a toe into the news world, but Venezuela is a major oil producer, so I figure it might not be the worst idea to go ahead and fill up. You know, I'm just saying. As we said, a lackluster showing for Maryland last night, 64-54. It was still winless in the Big Ten. But I meant to mention this in the first segment, and I overlooked it, and I really didn't mean to. Congratulations to the midshipmen of Navy. They beat Cincinnati yesterday 35-13 in the Liberty Bowl. That caps an 11-win season for them. An 11-win season is a big thing at any school, but at a military academy, boy, that's something. So they really got it going down there in Annapolis, and hats off to them. Blake Horvath, one of the great college players in the country this year. They're going to be talking about this 2025 team around Annapolis for years to come. I promise you that. Also, some possible breaking news from the NFL. There's starting to be scattered reports, and I've yet to see one from a really reputable source, but I'll just pass it along to you. There are reports that the Browns are going to get rid of Kevin Stefanski as head coach, which is mildly surprising because that was a very big win for him last week, beating Pittsburgh like that. And so, again, it's just some reports bouncing around right now. When I see it on AP or ESPN or someplace like that, then I'll believe it more. But that talk has started. 410-583-1057. My man, Rashawn, going to get us rolling today. How you doing, man?
What's going on, Bruce?
Just the rent, you know?
Hey, yeah, man. We on the road, man, on the way out to Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir. You on I-70?
Yeah, man. Dustin's driving, man. Trying to get him to do the speed limit, but he's on the rush to get up there to get into some trouble, you know.
He ain't going to do the speed limit. Hell no.
Yeah, man. But I'm looking forward to this game. And I think we just run the ball down their throat. You know,
I'd like to think so, Rashawn, but, man, their run defense is so much better than Green Bay's, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is. But I was looking at some stats. When they played Buffalo, James Cook rushed the ball 32 carries, 144 yards against them that game.
Yeah, it's
and then Bruce, they turned around. But when they played the Lions, they held Jamal Gibbs and David Montgomery to 16 yards.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's not going to be like a Green Bay game, but I think Derrick Henry get at least 90 yards rushing though.
I tell you what, if he gets 25 carries, I'll be satisfied with that because they're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball to win this game. They just are
for sure.
And right now, I don't know what kind of shape Lamar's in. I don't know if he's going to be able to use his legs the way he usually does. I start looking for tight ends tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, but Lamar's not looking too good out there, man. I hope Harbaugh got the puller, man, and put Huntley in. I know that'd be take some work to pull that off, but you gotta do what you gotta do to win that game, man. But Lamar's not looking too healthy, or don't sound like he got his legs up under him and anything like that.
I know
you're on point on MVP.
You got to pull out every stop you got tomorrow. I mean, this is it. The whole season's on the line. You got to do whatever you got to do to win that game. Will he pull Lamar? I don't know. I tell you what, I'd like to see him rotate Snoop in there a couple times, at least for called running plays or something. Snoop can help you.
Exactly. We'll see if Monken got that up his sleeve, man. I hope he does. If he's this great offensive genius that he claims to be, so hopefully he does. But hey, Bruce, did you think it'd come down to this though?
No, I was just I know. I was just talking about that. I mean, and not only that, but I mentioned a minute ago, there's no Monday night game this week. So this is the last game of the regular season. How perfect is that?
Right. And how about this? Tomlin and Harbaugh possible last time meeting, and the loser most likely gets fired.
I've heard a lot of that talk.
Like an elimination game.
I've heard a lot of that talk, and it could be. Yeah. But, it's the one thing that both of them have in common. There's fatigue on both fan bases. They've been there so long that people are a little bit tired of them, regardless. Yeah. I mean, look, Tomlin, it's funny because we kind of laugh at Pittsburgh for being mad at Tomlin, but then they're kind of laughing at us for being mad at Harbaugh, And no matter what happens tomorrow night, Tomlin will not have a losing season yet again. He's never had a losing season in Pittsburgh. That's amazing.
That's crazy. That's probably never ever happened in NFL history.
It's crazy.
Probably. Yeah. And one more thing before I go, Bruce. Let me ask you this. I asked Bob this past week. If Harbaugh and Tomlin both get fired, do you see any of these organizations like interviewing the other coach? Possibly bring them in for an interview.
Possibly. I would think both of them might look at broadcasting for a year and maybe take a year off and come back. The question I have, if Harbaugh were to get it, he was a special teams guy. He couldn't, would he go be a coordinator? And what would he coordinate? Defense or offense? You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's got a specialty in either one of those areas,
He doesn't. And do Tomlin has a specialty?
Yeah, he's a defense guy.
Oh, okay. So he can go, I guess, be a defensive coordinator somewhere.
Yeah, he definitely can. But John, it's not as cut and dried,
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he can run for politics, man. Well, the way
here's the thing.
Like a politician.
Here's the thing. Whoop Pittsburgh's ass tomorrow and get to the playoffs, and then we'll all shut up. That's pretty simple, right?
Man, right. I'm telling you, if we can pull this game out and John coach a good game, I'm okay for him staying one more year. Like this means a lot right here, man. Just to win this game up in Pittsburgh. Last game, winner goes home. So despite the way the season been going, Bruce.
Yep. I tell you what,
it's going to be a game.
We can all be very thankful if this thing all works out because there was no way it was going to work out a month ago. It just. Right. So be real happy with what we're seeing and understand how fortunate we are that we've got this game tomorrow night because it really defied the odds, that's for sure. Rashawn, 2 pieces of advice. Number 1, dress very warmly tomorrow night. And number 2, wear your earplugs because when they see your colors, they're going to wear you out. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, we already prepared for it, man. And and listen, shout out to Beat More Rounds, my man Brian, man. We big Baltimore party tonight up in McFadden's. Up in Pittsburgh, so all the Ravens fans coming through partying. So, Bruce, I know you're getting off air too, man. So once you hit out 70 West, man, and come party with us. Man.
Well, tell everybody there that Bruce says, hey, all right?
I will, man.
All right, man, be careful tonight.
You take care.
See you later. Him going to the game tonight reminds me of a real quick story. It's hilarious. When I was at Fox 45, we had a reporter, very good reporter named Melinda Roeder. And Melinda was a gigantic Steeler fan. She's from up there. So the Steelers are playing in Baltimore, and I helped her get some tickets and everything. And she came back by the station after the game, and she's furious. I've never been treated worse in my life. I cannot believe the things that were being said to me and how security was looking the other way and blah, 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 blah. I said, hey, Melinda, I got a real quick question for you. What? Did you wear your Steeler jersey? Yeah, but that's it. End of story right there. You know, you ask for it, sometimes you get it, right? 410-583-1057. We're going to have fun next segment. Morgan Atzett and I are going to tell war stories about this rivalry and going up to Pittsburgh. That's next. Stick around.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you
Sports Radio 1057, The Fan.
Treat yourself and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn, with their second location now open at the Fairgrounds in Timonium on the second floor of the grandstand. It features your favorites from the original Costas Inn. They're open for lunch and dinner daily, so stop in and see them today. Happy New Year from the Costas family.
As a detective, I've solved many mysteries, but this one has me stumped.
Why does NJM Insurance remain silent in a world full of catchy jingles?
What are they up to? It's suspicious.
Yet their policyholders all agree.
NJM is amazing. When things go wrong, they do what's right.
But is the world ready for an ad break that's jingle-free? Tune in to Baffling Mysteries, where the story of the missing jingle unfolds.
This fictional podcast is brought to you by NJM. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
What's the best way to keep holiday cheer alive this season? Plan ahead. If your holiday celebrations include drinking, designate a sober driver or schedule a ride share before you take your first sip. Let's all get home safely for the holidays. Be the Make a Plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives. Learn more at zerodeathsmd.gov. This message is brought to you by the Maryland Department of Transportation.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense. Up to 70% off is the kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like, "Where have you been my whole life?" to a cardigan. Just take a deep breath, steady your cart, and try to act normal. But it's not possible. The savings are just too good. Shop new clearance markdowns now in-store and online at Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-554-4706. 800-554-4706. That's 800-554-4706.
Great moments in sports. It's simply known as The Catch, and it's regarded as one of the most memorable moments in NFL history. It was the 1982 NFC Championship game between the Cowboys and the 49ers. San Francisco brought the ball to the 6-yard line. It was third down with 58 seconds left. Montana took the snap and immediately had 3 members of the Cowboys' defense running at him full speed. He threw a high pass into the end zone that seemed destined to fly out of bounds until 49ers receiver Dwight Clark made the leap and got a hold of it with his fingertips. Great moments in sports. Today, a pitcher is happy if he can pitch a single no-hitter in his entire career. Nolan Ryan, on the other hand, did it a record 7 times, 3 times more than any other pitcher. Lucky number 7 came on May 1st in 1991. The Toronto Blue Jays versus the Texas Rangers. Ryan was 44 at the time.
Here comes 44-year-old Nolan Ryan, who still can throw in the 90s. Last time out, he threw over 130 pitches. There was some question as to whether he would take his turn tonight.
He didn't warm up well. His shoulder, arm, and back were all sore. He even warned the pitching coach that he didn't think he'll be out there for very long. Despite feeling horrible before the game, things turned around in the first inning, and his pitching was unstoppable.
Nolan Ryan here in the 9th inning, looking for a career 7th no-hit. That's it! Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
His teammates hoisted him on their shoulders and carried him off the field. Nolan had just made baseball history.
The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
And I told them, treat her like a lady. Treat her like the best you can do. You gotta treat her like a lady. She'll give in to you.
Welcome back. Aaron, that's a nice selection considering that we're having one of my favorite ladies join us right now. I always try to treat Morgan Adsit like a lady. I'm not sure I always succeeded. Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you.
Bruce, thank you, and of course you did.
Well, we had our moments, that's for sure. I wanted
to speak like ladies.
Boy, isn't that the truth? I thought about having you on in the first place because so many years we handled this Pittsburgh-Baltimore rivalry, you know, and that was always a high spot for us at Sports Unlimited. We were always going to pull out the stops, but we also were going to make that 4-hour drive to Pittsburgh. How many of those did you have to make?
Oh, quite a few. I can't even count. I couldn't tell you. Since 2011, you know, if it was in our time frame and we could go, we went.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't in our time frame, we got this stuff now. They could edit stories in the back seat, and that I used to marvel at that. I was thinking back in the 70s when I started, I used to just fantasize, boy, what if we had something we could take with us? And now they do. And so it eliminates the excuses, that's for sure. But this one tomorrow night, as I said a minute ago, there is no Monday night game. This is the last game of the regular season of the NFL. And it's altogether fitting that this matchup pops up when it does because it is so unlikely, you know?
It's getting such the treatment as it should. It's the premier game, and it's the game that's going to mean the most as far as who gets in and represents the North. And the fact that these two, how many times they played each other, how many times it's been meaningful games, how many times it's been under the lights, has never been like this, where the regular season finale is for the North. I mean, both of these teams only have themselves to blame. It's coming down to the final game, but they both have a shot, and we know what happens when you get into the brand new season. Anything can happen. So there's so much at stake for both.
The big question was all week was Lamar versus Snoop. And it was interesting to me that as soon as Lamar said, I'm playing, the Snoop talk disappeared. I mean, they're all in for Lamar tomorrow night, aren't they?
Oh, I'm still getting replies to my information from being out at Ravens of they should play Snoop, which is such a loser mentality. And it's such a loser mentality also thinking that if you win this game, who cares? They're one and done in the postseason. I mean, it's brand new for everybody. And Lamar is going to play. He's going to be healthy-ish. I mean, I think he's going to be kind of as healthy as we've seen in a while. The back injury appears to be okay. Bone bruise, gotten the treatment on it. And why would you not want the ball in his hands when the season's on the line? And we know how much this defense has been a gigantic roller coaster all season. It's going to come down to the offense, and it's going to come down to Lamar Jackson. And let's be honest, when he's had these big moments, this isn't a playoff game, but it is. We haven't seen him shine. We haven't seen the MVP form. And I think we all can see what's happening here. This is his moment. So we'll see. I don't know if he's going to grab it and take it, but it's going to come down to his play.
No, that's
Who is better on offense in the turnover battle?
That's a good piece of analysis right there. T.J. Watt's going to play. They don't know how many snaps, but if you're Pittsburgh, if you can get him in there only 15% of the time, you're ahead of the game, right?
It's enough that the Ravens are going to have to know where he is, and it's enough that offensive line, as great as they played against the Packers, didn't have to deal with a shred of that last week. And it's going to come down to it, right? Pittsburgh did not play well in Cleveland. Pittsburgh was injured in that game or had suspension, so no DK Metcalf still. But the rest of the Steelers are going to be playing this game, and some of those that did not play against Cleveland, which was crucial for them not to clinch. So it's going to be full steam ahead. they've got the home field advantage. I know it's going to be a big deal in those lights, but I think for the Ravens this season, that's where they've thrived. Keep them away from home. Right?
I was just about to say, being away is not a problem for these guys. It's amazing, and that's a tough place to play. But it just the way a month ago. Dead in the water. There was no chance of anything like this happening, and at least to me. And I was feeling despair, and I was wishing the season would go ahead and end. And just look how it all turned out. The NFL is so unpredictable, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so popular.
You have to give players, coaching staff, as much as we don't know what it's going to look like next season and this game and what happens in the rest of January will probably dictate some of those big decisions. You have to give them credit for being 1-5. And 7-3.
Yeah.
And now playing for something that matters. And more than anyone, we've done this. Look at the 2012 team that won the Super Bowl. No one thought they were going to do that when December hit. You just have to get in. And they have way too much talent. I know the Pro Bowl is a joke, but they are tied for the lead for Pro Bowl players. And all the other teams that have those players, San Francisco, Seattle, they have already clinched. And they clinched when that announcement came out. So the Ravens have way too much talent to kind of let this season go by. And they have one more chance. They're lucky. They got it, but they can save the season.
There's an awful lot of talk that the way this game comes out tomorrow night is going to have an effect on the, let's say, employment status of maybe each head coach. Are you buying that kind of talk? I mean, I know that they're down on him in Pittsburgh, but it's hard to imagine him not being there. I guess because he's been there so long. And then as far as John Harbaugh goes, we haven't heard anything from the Ravens indicating that his job's in jeopardy,
Yeah, under contract until 2028, but we know how that all works.
Oh, yeah.
Tomlin, year 19, Harbaugh, year 18. I think with, historically speaking, the success of those franchises and constantly being in the running, maybe they don't have the Super Bowl totals, especially in the last decade, that people want, but they're successful for a reason. So I think those decisions, I would hope, if I'm running $1 billion empire, a part of it in the NFL, a team, that I've made those decisions already, and it shouldn't come down to this. But it will be maybe the weighing factor. You win this game, and then you win a couple in the playoffs. How can you get rid of one of those coaches?
Yeah.
I know Ravens fans don't want to hear that, but it doesn't matter what happens to either one of these coaches. Whoever you hire next, maybe a new voice and maybe some juice to get the franchise going, and maybe you will win, but you will never, ever replace a Hall of Fame caliber coach.
No.
There will not be a coach that lasts that long, and it will not be a coach that wins that long. But I understand that side of the business.
I used to
get stale.
I used to tell you this all the time, and I tell my listeners this all the time. When you fire a coach, it's like shaking that Etch-a-Sketch,
Right.
The screen is blank, and you're going back to absolute square one, and that's an awful big step to have to take just in one off season. So I don't know. As far as Tomlin goes, they're very frustrated up there that they hadn't won a playoff game in 10 years, but he's never had a losing season. And there's a lot of things about that franchise that I don't understand, but that's one of the main ones. And in both these cases, and I led up to this by bringing this up, I think in both these cases there's fan fatigue as far as both these coaches go. They've been on the job so long, I just think the fans are a little bit fatigued. What do you think?
I agree with that, and I think it's also completely different from the business. I mean, who lasts that long? Nobody.
Right.
Nobody lasts that long these days. They want new, they want fresh, they want young, they want shiny, and it works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. So it really just depends on what you want. And as far as the Steelers thing, I think those fans do have a larger argument because the Ravens have at least been to the postseason and been winning those games as of late. So I can see that fan argument growing more stronger by the minute. And with Pittsburgh this season, how many times have they been in a position to clinch?
Yeah.
They've been running away with the division, and the Ravens have not. The Ravens have been trying to play catch-up and get their head above water. So it is interesting. I would think those franchises, like I said, have made those decisions, but I think the Ravens go in there and blow them out. That speaks volumes and may sway a little bit more.
One last thing I want to make sure I bounced off you, because I admire your knowledge of the game. Everybody saw what the Ravens did against the Packers with Derrick Henry. With all those carries and all of those yards, it's a fact that Pittsburgh's going to be much harder to run on than Green Bay. Do you agree?
I 100% agree on that. And I do think that, and I said it on air, while I do not agree with playing Tyler Huntley over a Lamar that's able to be a full participant at practice, I do not agree with that. I do think, though, the element of having a mobile quarterback who's healthy opened that up more. But let's keep it what it is. He had 36 carries.
Yeah.
I mean, Derrick Henry only builds. He only gets better as the game goes on. And I think that's been the most frustrating thing. If you can put your fan cap on and kind of see the way that everyone's watching the game and watching this team, if we're sitting here on the sideline or up in the press box or at home and literally being like, why aren't you doing this? That's the most frustrating thing with Derrick Henry. He needs those carries, maybe not 36, but let him build. He wears defenses down at the end of the game. We've seen it historically speaking, and you're not going to put the ball in the Hall of Famer's hands when you have a quarterback who's not playing that well.
Right.
I think that's been the biggest head scratcher, but it will be harder, like you said, to run against Pittsburgh, but don't you dare abandon it.
No. They get tired of tackling him. We've seen that over the years. Even and when it's cold, that just exacerbates that, you know?
He is the best player I've ever watched play in person. Period. I mean, I got here at the end of Ray, so I understand that.
Yeah.
But I didn't see great Ray seasons. I saw his last 2 years, and he was injured the final season. But I respect and obviously watched him playing. But to see in person and to cover, Derrick Henry is shirt out, slam dunk Hall of Famer times 10.
Yeah.
He already has a Hall of Fame career. He did it in Tennessee, and he can do it after he leaves. But I think he is, hands down, your X factor, your game changer. Give him the ball in January, and let him go.
All right, one last thing. I'm assuming that you won the lottery and you're not driving through the mountains for this game tomorrow night, right?
Well, we unfortunately hit the worst possible scenario of trying to play the lottery. There's nothing worse for us on Fox 45 when we come on at 10.
Oh, I know.
And we end at 11, a Sunday night football game.
Yeah. So, no chance.
So we will have coverage there. It will not be the way that we would love to have it. But, of course, we'll have you covered that night and Monday, of course.
I never doubt
whatever comes after that.
Well, Morgan, I appreciate you taking a few minutes with you. It's great to talk to you again. I thoroughly enjoyed our 11 years together, and I miss you real bad.
I miss you too. All right. Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it.
See you later. There she goes. Morgan Ansett, my former compadre at Fox 45 and a veteran of many of those bitter trips to and from Pittsburgh, believe me. All right, we're going to open the phones back up next segment. I'm not hearing from people today. I don't know what it is. 410-583-1057. What do you think of the decision to play Lamar over Snoop? I'd love to hear from you on that. Prediction for the game tomorrow night? I'd love to hear from you on that. There's plenty to talk about. Give me a call, 410-583-1057.
It's a friendly reminder from 105.7 The Fan. The only thing getting lit at Christmas should be the tree. Impaired driving isn't an accident. It's a choice. The Fan reminds you to stay safe this holiday season. We want to see you in 26.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can make this your strongest year yet. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Maryland only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with MGM National Harbor.
Thinking about a home refresh? Hey, Jason Lockenfora here. Experience Town Appliances' modern and trendy showroom in Owings Mills off Reisterstown Road, showcasing the newest kitchen, laundry, and outdoor appliances from more than 70 trusted brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, JennAir, and more. From inspiration to installation, their expert team, especially my guys Mayor and Mayor, make it simple each step of the way. Stop by that beautiful showroom, call, text, or shop online with nationwide delivery at townappliance.com.
This holiday season, we'll help you with your gifts. You and your family can have the full power of America's best 5G network and 4 free 5G phones for just $25 a month per line. Holiday shopping just got easier. Now, what you should get your dog, we can't help you with that. Visit your neighborhood Total Wireless store. Offer ends January 7th, 2026. Subject to device availability. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires new activation on a total base 5G unlimited plan. Port in and ID verification requirements vary by device. Limit to 4 devices per account. Rankings based on Root Metrics United States Root Score Report dated first half 2025. Your results may vary.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24-month bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Google of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-554-4706. 800-554-4706. That's 800-554-4706.
The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Here I go again, thinking with my heart. Here I go again, blinded by the dark. I should have learned my lesson.
Now you're talking. Welcome back, Bruce Cunningham Show on a cloudy, cold Saturday. Stay your butt in the house if you have a choice. You don't want to be outside. 410-583-1057. I got a piece of news for you. You may have missed this yesterday, but the Ravens signed an extension with defensive lineman John Jenkins. They gave him a 1-year extension. Okay, why is that newsworthy? Well, let me tell you something. We don't know anything about Matabike yet. That was a severe neck injury that caused him to miss the entire season. And because of HIPAA laws, the Ravens themselves can't tell you what's wrong with him. It's got to come from him, or he's got to give them permission to talk about it. The fear is, among some, that Matabike is not coming back. And Jenkins, who's 36 years old, gets this extension because they've got to figure out how to stop the running game next year. And the funny thing about Jenkins, this is his 13th season. It's the first time he's ever had a contract extended. He said he didn't know how to act. But I think the two things are linked. I really do. I think the Jenkins extension and Matabike, that will bear watching in the offseason, to say the very least. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Middle River. Mike, what's going on?
Hey there, Bruce. How you doing today, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
I got a couple of points. Hopefully I can get to them, Mr. Bruce. First of all, I'll wait till the end to criticize the question. I think it's ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and say it up front so we can get it out the way. I think it's a ridiculous question. Anybody who asks, should you play Snoop versus Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. First of all, you're talking about it. And just say the game gets out of hand. And just say Rodgers all of a sudden steps out of the way and he starts dropping these dimes and start throwing it. Who you want in there to battle?
No, there's no question. I tell you what, I think a lot of the Snoop stuff is coming from, and I felt this way earlier this week. It's the way he was able to run when he needed to against the Packers. I'm not real sure Lamar can do that right now.
Yeah, he can. Keep talking about Lamar doesn't have a run over 20 yards. But he has about 5 runs in 19.
I don't want to criticize Lamar. Don't get me wrong here.
And my deal is, I've always said it, and this is it. Maybe they finally seen it when Lamar hadn't been there. But I always said, I called from years and years. My quote for Lamar is, Lamar isn't great when he runs. Lamar is great if he runs. That threat of if. And this is the last point I want to get across. Lamar's been our Superman. Okay, fine. So Derrick Henry was Batman. Guess what? Derrick Henry hasn't been a very good Batman. You know what? The first problem he had against Pittsburgh, he fumbled. Lamar threw him a pass on the left side, hit him in the chest. He would have ran 70 yards for a touchdown. Henry has fumbled the ball in Buffalo. So guess what? You want Henry to be the Superman? Let's go. Let's roll reverse.
All right, man.
Lamar be the Batman.
All right, Mike, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. A superhero theme to that call. I'm not sure I agree with all of that. I mean, I don't think Henry's had a poor season. Henry has fumbled more than he usually does, but Henry has won more games than he's lost, that's for sure, including that one last week. Let's go to Aaron in Baltimore. Aaron, what's up?
Bruce Cunningham, the man, the myth, the legend.
Mostly myth.
Happy New Year to you, brother.
Same to you.
This Lamar Snoop thing. Okay. If, let's say Pittsburgh shuts Derrick Henry down, they're going to be harder to run against than Green Bay was.
Right.
Okay. What happens when you got to throw the ball? Let's say you go down 2 touchdowns and you got to throw the ball. You trust in Snoop or you trust in Lamar with that?
Lamar?
I'm going with Lamar.
Yeah. I just think I tell you the truth, Aaron. I think a lot of people got excited at how well Snoop played last week. Okay, and they know that Snoop's 100%. But see, there's a reason Lamar's going to make $75 million next year. You know, and there's a reason that Snoop doesn't have a contract for next year. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yes, sir. Thank you.
The guy that gets paid is the guy who plays in pro sports. You know.
That's always the way it's been, and that's the way it's going to be, Bruce.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right. I hope you're relaxed. I hope you've done your stretching and you're good and loose, because the one and only Joe in Woodbury joins us now. Joe, welcome. Glad to hear from you.
How do you know I did my stretching and did a half an hour on the elliptical? You got cameras in my house or something?
Boy, I hope not. Hey, Joe, if we do, I don't want to see them. All right?
No. Hey, believe me, I'm very respectable. I don't walk around like some people. But anyway, Bruce, all that talk is going around about Lamar. You know,
the
whole team has been flawed from, I can't say from the owner down, but I'm going to say from the general manager all the way down. I ain't going to say the water boy, but I'm just saying, I just heard the last guy talk about the drops. I mean, man, we were seeing Henry fumble balls like he never has before in his entire career.
Ever.
That's how the season started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we was putting the onus on him fumbling. Then you got the people who drop balls. But Bruce, I'm going to tell you, I know what it's like to wake up with a bad back, with a bad knee, and a bad ankle. Yeah. So if you got all 3 of them starting you off on your day, you don't want to get out of the bed. Bruce.
Yet, Joe, all we're hearing is how he's quitting and he's not tough. You know?
How about that? And going all the way back to when Michael Vick talked about him when he was hurt in, was that 2021? When he might have been hurt, and he said, get out there in a brace and play and all that. I was like, come on, man. I'm going to tell you like this. I know how to play with my body. I know how to, I'm just saying, Lamar, he's doing the best he can, in my opinion. But here's what I'm thinking about tomorrow. The OC and him have to be on one accord. The audibles have to be known what to call when they put that 8 and 9 man line up there or whatever. You know, you got to decide whether to go to the left or go to the right. I think they need more motion. I mean, I just don't see Todd Monken as a person that can make the defense guess. You know, you got to keep the defense guessing, and his offensive plays don't do that. I mean, do a shift every now and then and do more motion.
Well, and I tell you what, it seems to me that the tight ends have gotten a little lonely lately, you know?
I know that. And how did Lamar build up his repetation?
Hitting tight ends.
Remember he couldn't throw on the outside, you know, and that, you know what? That's what got Andrews. his first contract.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the receivers on the outside, so
Right.
and Lamar was throwing it over the middle, but here lately they're not. And
Now, on the other side of the ball, Pittsburgh's huge tight end, Washington, is out for the season with a broken arm. He won't be playing, but they still got Freiermuth. Remember him? Remember how many times he screwed the Ravens? He's still on that roster, you know?
Yeah, but here's another thing, Bruce. Our defense, the defense hasn't been right since McDonald left. Now, you can go all the way back to when we still had the blitzer, our boy.
Yeah.
You know?
He's out of work, by the way, you know? He's out of work. Michigan's not bringing him back. Michigan's not bringing him back.
Okay, but anyway, what I'm saying
go ahead.
is we've never had an OC who needed somebody to come in and tutor him.
Yeah.
Those were Harbaugh's words, Bruce. Well, he's coming in. What's the dude that's doing the secondary now? He's coming in to tutor.
Pagano.
Yeah, what you mean he's coming in to tutor the OC? See, now I'm putting all that onus on Harbaugh. Harbaugh put a man in position that he wasn't qualified for. Then he went and hired all of his coaches. Now, Bruce, come on now. Bruce, if you give me a job, I'm hiring everybody under me. If I don't know how to hire my own team, then hire him out to be the DC, Bruce.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm gonna leave it at that, Bruce, because you know what I'm in here doing right now.
I tell you what, I think John roots for Zach Orr. I think he roots for him, and I think he gives him every benefit of the doubt.
Bruce.
You know, but I don't know.
I root for him too, Bruce. But Bruce, there's a lot of people out here with jobs that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to learn. OJ on the job training, Bruce. No, you got to be ready. And if you're not ready, you can't just keep substituting. And that's what Harbaugh's been doing with the defense.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they can't communicate and everything now, man. So,
all right, Joe. You brought the fire like you always do, man. Good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you, Bruce. Take care, brother.
See you later. There he goes. Joe in Woodbury quickly becoming my favorite caller. Joe's always got a full tank when he calls in. You know, he's not sputtering, and the needle's not pointing toward E with Joe. All right, I got Henry and Robert. You guys stay right where you are. We're going to keep the phones open throughout the rest of the show. I want your opinion on all this. 410-583-1057, Lamar or Snoop. I already know what you're all going to say, but still, it's worth talking about. Also, are you worried about TJ Watt playing tomorrow? I mean, that could be a big difference maker, too. A lot of questions to answer. Coming up, hour number 2, Rich Dubroff will join us at 1:30. We'll get the latest from the baseball world. But between now and then, I'd like to hear from you. 410-583-1057.
Ravens.
Lamar Jackson is gone.
Terps.
Rays with the hammer.
And O's.
Colton Cowser, demolition derby.
Sports Radio 1057, The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get 50% off all pants for the family. Yep, 50% off all pants for the fam. Hurry in this Saturday and Sunday to save big, only at Old Navy. Valid 1, 3, and 4. Excludes clearance, maternity, active jeans, sweatpants, knit leggings, and sleep.
The Maryland Energy Administration thinks your kid's school year shouldn't start in a cloud of diesel exhaust. That's why the Electric School Bus Grants Program helps school districts invest in cleaner electric buses. Electric buses deliver lower long-term fuel and maintenance costs for school districts and cleaner rides for our kids every day. Tell your school district to apply at energy.maryland.gov.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-932-5858. That's 800-932-5858. 800-932-5858.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes while giving you a head start on 2026. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-352-9239. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-352-9239. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-352-9239. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-352-9239. 800-352-9239 or biglou.com.
Join 105.7 The Fan's Baltimore Game Day Uncensored at Barrel House Live this Sunday as we broadcast live from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Barrel House Live is your go-to for live music, sports, and nonstop fun. For more info on the hottest shows in town, visit FalstonBarrelhouse.com.
From the Thompson Creek Window Company Studios, one window replacement company that does it all. This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Welcome back. Bruce Cunningham Show for a Saturday. Rich Dubroff joins us at the bottom of the hour at 1:30. We're going to talk Orioles, but we're way up in the Ravens Steelers today, and rightly so. I meant to mention this earlier. There are games today. In fact, the early game today is exactly the same situation as the Ravens Steelers. The Panthers and the Buccaneers play for the NFC South Championship at 4:30 this afternoon. And then tonight, Seahawks and 49ers, and I don't need to tell you anything about that matchup. That's just killer all the way to the bone, that one there. But yeah, the Panthers and Bucs, it'll be just like the Ravens and Steelers tomorrow night. 410-583-1057. Ravens still remain a 3.5-point favorite. I'm no gambler, but I know you get 3 points for being a home team. So when it's a 3.5-point spread, you can draw your own conclusions. That's all I'm saying. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Henry in Bel Air. Henry, what's up?
I'm tired of the controversy over Hundley versus Lamar. With Lamar, you have a prima donna and a unicorn running the offense. With Hundley, you got a steady hand going with your unicorn, and you have a much better chance. I'm sorry, you don't need 30 and 40-yard passes down the road. You need somebody that's going to control the offense and make a game, not thinking he needs to be the savior. And that's where Lamar is. He feels he's the savior.
Yeah, you don't know that. You don't know. All right, thanks, Henry. I'm not happy you called. First of all, you call him a prima donna right off the top. You don't know that. I know. I was around Lamar a lot, and he's not a prima donna. I mean, he's comfortable in his own skin, and I don't know. That kind of negativism just bothers me. Not only that, but forget it. I'm not going to let it ruin the rest of this show. 410-583-1057. That's not to say you have to agree with me all the time, because I know you don't. But that was just, that got off wrong and just stayed wrong. Let's go to Robert in Reisterstown. Robert, the bar is set very low for you, sir.
No, sir, it is not. I tell you something. Lamar
is not just a great quarterback, but he's the man.
Yeah.
You know, he has his. He's just an everyday Joe. He really is. And people make him out to be this egotistical guy,
Nah.
but he's not.
I've never seen that from him, ever.
Right, but I think about the point is back in the day when a quarterback was injured and he brought in, a backup and he was doing good. You know, when the regular quarterback is ready, sometimes they leave the backup in there.
Earl Morrall.
You know? And
remember Earl Morrall?
Earl Morrall.
Yeah.
Didn't Earl Morrall win the Super Bowl?
Well, he got him there, and they lost to the Jets. But I think he did win one with Miami.
Right.
But it was the exact situation. Unitas could have played, but they went ahead with Morrall because he had gotten him there, and Unitas played the second half. But, yeah, they kept him on the bench in Morrall's favor. You're exactly right.
And I agree because what's his name? Huntley, he did well. He did last short passes. Short passes, short runs.
Yeah,
it was great.
Best case scenario, sprinkle some plays in for him tomorrow. You know, let Snoop use his legs the way he did against the Packers. You know, but you can't have him start it. You gotta put. Look, everything's on the line, right? You got to pull out every single stop there is, and that means Lamar Jackson's got to play quarterback. Pretty simple.
Right, but how about this? What you said earlier? You know, Earl Morrall. You know, Huntley starting, and if he's not doing awesome, then you bring in your top quarterback.
I guess
Johnny
they could.
Unitas. Oh, excuse me, not Johnny, but
I know who you're talking about. I think it's sad. Speaking of Unitas, he was an enthusiastic Louisville guy. I remember the way he put his arms around Chris Redmond when he was here, and all of that. I just hate that Unitas had to miss Lamar. I would have loved to have heard what Unitas thought about the way Lamar plays, because I know that Tom Matte was a huge Lamar fan.
Right. Both from Louisville. What a blessing.
How about that?
Baltimore is a very interesting town. Very
My grandson goes to University of Louisville, first semester this fall, and the football team starts out 7-0 for him. How about that?
I heard about that. Yeah, and I like you talking about it. It's like a brag, but you know what we do for our kids?
Everything.
We brag.
Yeah, that's what we do. All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Good call to 410-583-1057. Let me see. Tony in Rosedale likes to be the first caller. I love it when he's a first caller. I'm going to go to him right now. He's going to come up with some excuse why he couldn't call in at noon. Tony, explain yourself.
I was watching. I'm a Big East basketball fan.
Yeah.
And this Providence St. John's game, they had to separate Patino and Kim English. The teams got the typical Big East game. It's like going to the playground watching that.
I love the Big East. I tell you what, I'm watching VCU Duquesne right now, so it's great.
Oh, you're talking about Lamar and Johnny U. Don't forget, this town was blessed with Wes Unfeld. Didn't he come from that school too?
He sure did. Good call. I appreciate that. He did. You know what? Those are three pretty big names to go to one city from one school,
Yeah. I just want to comment on, a few callers I've been hearing talking about Zach Orr and the defense. Last year, when they started off bad and got better, a lot of credit said they went to Dean Pease because he came in here and helped them out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, flip it around. Who did the Ravens bring in here to work on the secondary? And I haven't heard nobody call out his name.
Chuck Pagano. And the secondary doesn't look all that great, does it?
No. So when you give credit to somebody like Dean Pease, you got to, start questioning Chuck Pagano, because he came in here and was supposed to be quote-unquote assistant, help him out and in charge of secondary. And I don't hear too many people, calling his name out.
Right.
So it's not all Zach Orr. I just wanted to bring that up, because you give credit when credit is due. You also got to give a little bit of criticism when it's due.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
But I just wanted to chime in on that. It's not all Zach Orr. I don't know how that works. You're the coordinator and you have specific people to do the line and linebackers, the pecking order or whatever. But like I said,
it's got to all flow through Zach Orr. That's structurally that's the way it works. And then Orr, of course, reports to John. I said this last hour, I really think John is kind of rooting for Zach Orr, because John was head coach when Zach Orr's career came to that sudden end. And remember what a great player Zach Orr was? A lot of people don't. He was an all-pro. And he decided he wanted to get into coaching, and John kind of put his arm around him, and I think John is giving him a big boost. And I think he gets a lot more rope than maybe another guy would get,
Okay, one final point before I go, and keep this in mind. with how crazy the AFC wound up this year with no Mahomes and no Joe Burrow, it's not out of the realm that if the Ravens get into these playoffs, they could possibly still host an AFC championship game. Because if you look at some of these lower seeds like Buffalo and the Chargers, they can beat the Denvers or you know, the New Englands, and they'll be a lower seed than the Ravens. And if the Ravens win 1 or 2 games, they could host the championship game.
Well,
I mean, it's not far-fetched.
Hey, win tomorrow night. Win tomorrow night. And then we can worry about all that other stuff, right, Tony?
Right. I'm just saying.
I hear
just
you.
keep that in mind.
I will.
Have a good one, Bruce.
Appreciate it. There he goes, Tony in Rosedale. Let's check out Godfrey right quick. Godfrey, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Bruce?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. I just want to say, man, the Lamar Huntley debate is utterly ridiculous. You start Lamar, 2-time MVP. Lamar changes the game.
Yeah.
He puts a different aspect on the field. So with Lamar and Henry on the field, it's just a no-brainer. Sorry, I'm not even going to waste my time on that subject.
As I said a minute ago, though, Godfrey, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe sprinkling a few Snoop plays in here and there.
No, absolutely not, Bruce.
Good.
None.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Because he's still 100% healthy, Snoop, and you saw what he was able to do with his legs against Green Bay. And I Lamar needs to show me that he can do that, because I haven't seen it up to this point. But he's hurt. I'm pulling for him. But Snoop could really help you in plays like that, I think.
Well, it's good to know he's there in the backup role.
Oh, yeah.
On Zach Orr, see his problem. He doesn't know how to make defensive calls. So I think he tends to make the wrong call on certain plays. And why not? He plays a lot of zone. I saw how Pittsburgh lost. Cleveland played a lot of man.
Yeah.
So let's hope Zach Orr looked at the film, get out of the zone, because for some reason we played the worst zone of all time. Green Bay was like, receivers were so wide open, like 10 yards.
Well, you know what? You sound like you know the game, so I'm going to throw some inside football stuff at you. You got a rookie safety back there. You know what I'm saying? And as good as he's going to be one day, he's still a rookie. You understand what I'm saying? And it's pretty easy for things to get confused, I would think, in the secondary for that reason,
One more thing. I got one more thing.
All right.
The Mike Preston piece.
Yeah.
I really didn't care for it too much because it was, I thought Mike, and I like Mike, but I thought it was an untimed piece that he wrote. One thing that I would say that I would agree with, I think Lamar needs more dedication as far as off-season, spending more time around the team and less time in Florida. Thanks, Bruce.
Okay,
Happy
man.
New Year.
Thanks for the call. Happy New Year to you, too. Stick around, everybody. I got a full bank. We're going to stay with you. 410-583-1057. Rich Dubroff of Bottom of the Hour. Between now and there, it's you and me. And there's a bunch of you waiting to talk. Stick around.
See what you've been missing by seeing what you've been listening to.
What was the question?
The Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie and Inside Access on the Fan's YouTube channel. Subscribe at Baltimore 1057 The Fan. Tune in to Winning in Retirement with Brian Akers and his team of financial advisors right here on 1057 The Fan this Saturday at 11 a.m.
Brought to you by Barrel House Live. Visit them on Facebook for all their events.
Bring some holiday cheer with the network that knows what you really want. Take your phone to your local Total Wireless store, and we'll give you one line for just $25 a month. Celebrate more for spending less. The holidays just got a lot better. Visit your neighborhood Total Wireless store. For new single-line customers who activate on a BYO device on the Total 5G Unlimited plan. Requires auto-pay enrollment to receive the full discount, which applies the month after enrollment. Available online and in Total Wireless retail stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device and SIM. Check compatibility at TotalWireless.com.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store, and the start of the new year brings promise and possibilities. Yet too often, this enthusiasm is met with pain in our feet, knees, and back. Does that sound like you? Then it's time to check out the Good Feet Store. One of our recent customers, a photographer named Ellie, found relief. Let's hear her story. I've had my Good Feet arch supports for about 2 years now, and I can actually walk around all day without feeling like my feet are going to fall off. I suffered from plantar fasciitis and would wake up every morning with terrible pain. I'm a wedding photographer, and if I didn't have these, I don't think I would make it through my 10-hour days running around. These are a total game changer, and I will always highly recommend them. If you're tired of foot pain holding you back, come in for a free fitting and test walk. Our team will take the time to personally fit you for your own arch support system. And you can try before you buy. On top of it all, they're FSA, HSA eligible. Put those dollars to use for a pain-free future. Head over to goodfeet.com to schedule your appointment today.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-880-1212. That's 800-880-1212. Again, that's 800-880-1212.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-352-9239. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-352-9239. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-352-9239. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-352-9239. 800-352-9239 or biglou.com.
The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Welcome back, Bruce Cunningham Show on a cold, overcast Saturday. It's crappy outside. Stay in the house. Don't go outside. It's nothing for you out there. Not today. Man, 410-583-1057. I'll tell you a quick weather-related story. When the CFL Stallions were first established, the coach, Don Matthews, and his wife flew in from Canada to do media stuff. And his wife said to me, "This cold. We don't feel this kind of cold in Canada." And you know what it is? It's all the humidity that we have around here. In the wintertime, that humidity gets really cold and goes straight to the bone. That's my decidedly non-scientific answer right there. Let's go to Patrick in Baltimore. Patrick, talk to me.
Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
Doing all right. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to call in about the kind of our fan base and how we find a way to be so unloyal to our franchise quarterbacks.
I know.
We hear it now with Lamar.
Yeah.
And even when back with Flacco, too, just wanted to get rid of these quarterbacks that have done so well for us.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of these fans are just failing to realize how much better Lamar Jackson is. Obviously, Huntley's an A-tier backup, but in no world, again.
You know what? We first started hearing this a couple years ago when they were trying to get his contract done. You remember there was trade Lamar talk then too. Remember, let him go. And they feel that way until he goes somewhere else and wins a whole bunch of games and makes the Pro Bowl again. I don't know. It's easy to jump off the ship, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I think there is only 5 to 6 great quarterbacks in the NFL, and Lamar Jackson obviously being one of them. in no world do you let that guy walk. You let him retire here. When his time's up, he'll let us know his time's up. But in no world should we want to get rid of this guy. Obviously, restructure the contract after this year, but we need to see Lamar here until he hangs up the cleats.
Yeah, he's ready to do that too. He kind of dropped a hint at that the other day when he was talking. We'll get the contract done, I think, is what he said, or something like that. So there's a reason for optimism.
He shut up a lot of the haters with that press conference.
He needed that. He needed to say everything he said. He really did. And I'm convinced they coached him up for that too. The Ravens PR people. Make this point, make this point, make this point, and he went out and he pulled it off. And I think a lot of this talk stopped as soon as Lamar stopped talking.
Yeah, that's kind of a flaw in his thing too. Is he is not in front of the media enough. And while that can be a great thing, obviously it hurts him in the way that all these rumors come out, but I think him stepping up the other day and addressing all that was, really good. And I think, tomorrow's going to be a great night, and I think we're going to see a home playoff game here in Baltimore next weekend. I appreciate it.
I hope you're right, man. Thanks for the call, Patrick. 410-583-1057. Let's go to David down in North Carolina. David, what's up?
What's up, my brother? Happy New Year.
David Julian.
Yes, sir, my man. The radio show with the best music in America.
That's because we're both old.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
it's the stuff we like.
I'll be brief. As you know, man, I go way back with this stuff, and was embedded in the whole give Baltimore the ball effort, and then spent the wild and wacky, crazy years of you with the Baltimore CFL Colts / Stallions, and wouldn't trade that for anything, and God bless 41. Yeah. But, we have been so blessed for 30 years, and, to stand in that hotel room and have the president of the National Football League not look William Donald Schaefer in the eye and award the team to Jacksonville was probably one of the lowest moments for this city. So then we get the Ravens, and for 30 years we've had one of the most outstanding organizations in football on the field and off the field.
Yeah.
And the passion, the Baltimore passion that we have with the Colts, with the Stallions, on high. I am just so perplexed by this turn of the tide in the way that the fan base, a lot of the fan base, view this football team right now. And it's just sort of unnerving and troubling, and I'm on the other side of it. When we were 1-5, I had people telling me I was crazy that we were going to make the playoffs, and that 9 wins were going to win the AFC North. But I've hung in there. But it's just ridiculous for what people are saying, and the reason why I got on the phone to call you was your show yesterday was outstanding.
With Femi?
But the Femi segment to me, well-informed, he's in it, he knows it, but it felt like he was speaking directly to me.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I feel about it. And in particular, this veiled thing about Lamar, and I don't know, there's just something about him that I don't like. Mm-hmm. We're finding reasons to chip away at Lamar. Don't do that. We're better than that. So we've kind of unleashed this angry mob, these keyboard warriors that, social media has given voice to, and it's just now all part of it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't stand me up and go, wow, I don't really like that.
I do know, and we fought the same battles we have, and what I always say about that is that social media has given everyone a voice, but what we found is that not everyone deserves a voice, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
David, great to hear from you, buddy. Are you in town?
Yeah. No, I'm not in town. I'm down here in Charlotte. I'll be up probably in the spring sometime.
All right, let's go have lunch or something when you get to town.
We will, and I will see you in other venues.
All right, man. See you, David. There he goes, David Julian. David was part of the expansion group in Baltimore, and he's from a very distinguished family. He's a lacrosse player at Loyola, and he played at Friends, I believe, in high school. Just an all-around good dude, and I'm glad he called in. I really am. Let's go to Mark in Perry Hall. Mark, what's going on?
Hey, Bruce, Happy New Year. Good
Same
to talk to you today.
You too.
Thank you. So first thing, Mark from Prairie Hall's mom worked at the front office for the Colts from 75 till they left.
Okay.
Doesn't make me smarter than anybody, but I've been watching football for 50 years and very up close with it.
Yeah.
And, over the long haul, what you are as a team always shows up in big games.
Yep.
And unfortunately, what I saw this year, and it was even there last week, and I think last week's win really hid some open wounds. The defense is just horrible in the fourth quarter, and we've been terrible with ball security this year.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, what I see everything going great for 3 quarters, and then I see what we are coming out in the fourth quarter. I see a fumble, don't know by who, certainly can't call that. And then I see Aaron Rodgers just taking the team down the field. I mean, look what Malik Willis did to us last week.
I know.
What's an Aaron Rodgers going to do? I hate to say this, and I agree with the last caller. We have been blessed to have this fantastic organization for 30 years. When you think about it, we could have been, the Arizona Cardinals.
No, all you got to do is look at that mess in Cleveland. That's all you got to do. We could be that, but we're not, because we got an organization here that's first rate in every way.
Yep. So I will pull my hair out and root for the Ravens till I'm blue in the face tomorrow. But unfortunately, this version of the team, I just see some flaws that I think, again, are going to come out, because that's what usually happens in these big games.
I hear you.
Great
All
to
right.
talk to you.
You too, Mark.
One last request. Bruce, I got to hear some Marquise, man. I got to hear them.
Marquise, last night. We'll play that. Aaron's over there nodding as we talk, so we got that coming up. All right, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it. All right, Michael, Kevin, Larry, Sam, you guys stay right where you are. We're going to get back to you. Rich Dubroff coming up next. Going to talk a little baseball.
On demand, online, on your way to wherever you're going. The free Odyssey app is loaded with opinions, analysis, podcasts, and moments that matter most from the Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie and Inside Access. Download it today and search 105.7 The Fan.
Treat yourself and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn, with their second location now open at the Fairgrounds in Timonium on the second floor of the grandstand. It features your favorites from the original Costas Inn. They're open for lunch and dinner daily, so stop in and see them today. Happy New Year from the Costas family.
Hey, it's Ken Weinman. NFL Sunday's coming. You've got your crew, your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel's coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop, and now we're making it even better, because this week, FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers can get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account, because that's what Sunday should feel like. Visit FanDuel.com/local to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 105.7 The Fan. 21 plus and present in Maryland. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or give them a call, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
I got to get that record show. I got to get that. Eli Paperboy Reed. Came and went. Nobody noticed him. Love that guy. 410-583-1057. Joining us now, Rich Dubroff, BaltimoreBaseball.com. Rich, I'm glad you're with us. I want to start out with something very specific. We have talked in the weeks prior how the starting pitching free agency is kind of frozen right now. Well, Imai signed with the Astros. Does that break the ice?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because he signed for a lot. He signed for a lot less than people thought he would. I always look as a lot of people in the business do at MLBTradeRumors.com.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of free agency, and I quote them all the time, they list their top 50 free agents. They had him going for getting a 6-year, $150 million contract, which would be in the range of Framber Valdez, maybe a little less.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out he got less than half that.
Yeah.
So he could have apparently gotten more, a longer contract, but with a lower average annual value. So I think that it didn't. It was because he was coming from Japan, and apparently there's some skepticism about how he'll do here. That his as a result, his signing, the amount he signed for was a lot lower than forecast.
I'm just glad to see a top-rated Japanese prospect not go to the Dodgers. It's kind of refreshing.
And one, and there was one who went to the White Sox.
Yeah.
So, the Dodgers can't have everybody.
Yeah.
There's got to be, there's got to be room for, there's got to be room elsewhere.
We haven't talked on here since the Orioles signed Zach Eflin, which I think most of the fans would be in favor of. He's coming off surgery, but he will be able to pitch this year. I think a lot of people assume that maybe that's the other pitcher they were going to add, but that's probably not the right thing to assume, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think that they're going to get another starting pitcher. I think he was a depth signing, and I think that basically going into free agency, I thought that they were going to sign two pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up trading Rodriguez
for one.
So
yeah.
I think Shane Baz was the replacement for him,
right?
And then they were going to have one big name and one depth signing. And I think that they still have the big name, and I think Eflin was the depth signing.
So
I'm going to be interested to see what happens.
Yeah, we all will. I talked at the beginning about that the frozen nature of these free agent starting pitchers. Do you see that ice start to break in soon?
Well, I think so because it is January. We're getting to 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks of spring training, and a lot of players want to know where they're going to be pitching. So I think that I think that in the next couple of weeks we'll see we'll see these movement. We'll see the movement. I mean, there's still obviously Framber Valdez, Ranger Suarez,
Zach Gallen, and a little bit lower down the list, Chris Bassett, a guy that we've talked about here.
Right.
But I think he would have been more of the depth signing for the Orioles.
Well, you do this all the time for a living. How unusual, in a good way, has this offseason been for you?
This has been a very active.
Yeah.
This has been a very active off season, and I never thought. I thought that it would be. I mean, we talked a number of times.
No, you've been consistent with that.
I said I thought that they would be aggressive, and I know a lot of fans were very skeptical about this going into the off season, that they hadn't seen the Orioles spend a lot of money, and it was really the Alonso signing that got people on board, and then I think it was a good signing, but they're methodically going about filling the holes. So I think that they're almost there. I think there's going to be another starting pitcher, and I'm thinking a couple of smaller relief pitchers, and then maybe maybe another outfielder, and certainly another utility infielder and a catcher. But I think that the catcher and the utility infielder will be minor league signings. They won't be 40-man roster signings.
Well, one thing all of this has done is it's got the fans feeling a lot better going into spring training than they did at the end of this past season. The Orioles needed to send a message out to their fan base with how they acted this offseason. You think they sent that message?
They certainly did, Bruce. That's they can look at the attendance numbers, and they do every night, and they saw attendance was down 21%.
Right.
And a lot of fans were unhappy about the ticket packages. I mean, I heard from many fans about the absence of the 13-game plan.
Right.
And I know that there were a lot of fans who wrote into me, and people that I know who didn't renew their tickets. I mean, they'll still go to games, or maybe this will spur them on.
Yeah.
To go to games. Obviously, winning is pretty important here, but I think the most important thing is that these signings and these trades filled holes for the Orioles, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be a contender unless those core players.
Yeah.
Jordan Westberg, Colton Cowser, Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, unless they're healthy and play well. If that doesn't happen, if we have a repeat of last year, then these signings may help them a little, but it's not going to put them over.
Time to win, that's for sure. One last thing before we let you go: who wins tomorrow night?
I think the Ravens. I did such a great job last week at predicting when you asked, and I predicted the Ravens would lose and the Steelers would win. So I now think the Ravens will win.
Should we feel good about that?
You're the fan. You're the guy who lives and dies with them. So I just watch.
Hey, I just ride the boat. That's all I do. Rich Dubroff, BaltimoreBaseball.com. Thanks for your time as always, my friend, and I'll be reading. That's for sure.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you, Bruce.
All right, there he goes, Rich Dubroff. All right. We're going to go back to the phones from now until I say goodbye to you. So if you're online right now, I'm going to get to you. So I got Larry, Michael, Ed, Mitch, Kevin, Sam. You guys stay right where you are. You're getting on the air.
With the free Odyssey app, you can rewind to specific moments from all our shows.
Over and over and over. Over and over and over.
Download it today and search 105.7 The Fan.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can make this your strongest year yet. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
As a detective, I've solved many mysteries, but this one has me stumped.
Why does NJM Insurance remain silent in a world full of catchy jingles?
What are they up to? It's suspicious.
Yet their policyholders all agree.
NJM is amazing. When things go wrong, they do what's right.
But is the world ready for an ad break that's jingle-free? Tune in to Baffling Mysteries, where the story of the missing jingle unfolds.
This fictional podcast is brought to you by NJM. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The Maryland Energy Administration thinks your kid's school year shouldn't start in a cloud of diesel exhaust. That's why the Electric School Bus Grants Program helps school districts invest in cleaner electric buses. Electric buses deliver lower long-term fuel and maintenance costs for school districts and cleaner rides for our kids every day. Tell your school district to apply at energy.maryland.gov.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Hola, amigos! It's a big noise. Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
The Bruce Cunningham Show on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
There you go, Mark from Perry Hall. Just until the organ comes in. Just until we hear the organ. Yes, sir. Welcome back. Bruce Cunningham Show. Last segment. I want to remind you to stay tuned for Mike Popovic. He'll be in right after me. No games today. Nobody's postponed. It's a normal Saturday block here at 105.7 The Fan. Larry on the Eastern Shore. Been holding a long time. How you doing?
Hey, Bruce. It's an honor. Sitting over here looking out my window watching the ducks land on the rivers.
Nice.
Good day. You mentioned a little while ago about John Unitas, and I just wanted to tell you something relating to Lamar.
Yeah.
I got to know John a little bit. He used to come over and play in a golf tournament over here, and we didn't have a lot of hotels around, so the celebrities would stay at your house. And got to talk to John a lot, and I just remember one thing that he said. When people ask him about throwing a touchdown pass and, jumping up and down. He said, no, he said, there's a play and the play's designed for the receiver to be in the area where he's supposed to be. I'm supposed to throw the ball to that area. When the ball leaves my hand, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've done my job. And if the guy's in the right place, it's up to him to catch the ball. And I think this year and even last year, how many times could we say that Lamar has hit receivers in the hands? He's hit them, the balls bounced off.
Oh, he's had a bunch of drop passes. He has.
And even throwing a pass and having it fumbled in the end zone after the catch.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I understand people want to, criticize him. I think he's a good guy, and I think he's a great quarterback. Let's just remember that last year he hit Mark Andrews for a 2-point conversion.
Sure did.
You or I could have called.
Yep,
right?
sure did.
So I mean, let's give the guy, a break and not be as hard on him, and wish him luck tomorrow. And thank you for taking my call.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, Larry. I appreciate it. 410-583-1057. How about having United spend the night at your house? That wouldn't be too bad either. John was a lot of fun. You would have enjoyed that. Let's go to Kevin in Randallstown. Kevin, what's up?
Bruce, yesterday about 3:30, it came to me, that's right, Bruce said he was going to be on today. and I had missed your show.
You missed a whole hour with Femi.
That's what I was just getting ready. You were reading my mind.
Yep.
Because, he is my absolute favorite guest out of all that you have on, whether it's basketball, baseball, football. He is my absolute favorite guest that you have on. I love it when you have some Femi on.
Femi tells the truth,
Yes, he does. I really like him a whole lot. But I was thinking, like you were saying before earlier about the Packers didn't have Parsons either.
Right. Right.
And it's going to be different running against the Steelers than it is.
Very different.
The Packers. And I got a funny feeling they're going to stack the line a lot too. But I'd like to see the Ravens, if they're going to do anything, I'd like to see them bring in. I'm not saying you can't run Derrick Henry every play,
Right.
That's not going to work. You're going to have to pass the ball sometimes. But I would really like to see Ricard in there, not just on short yardage or goal line stands. I'd like to see Ricard in there a little bit more than what he's.
You know what? Hey, Kevin, he can catch. He's shown us that.
Yeah, I like to see that, and I also like to see the other tight end, Kolar.
Yeah.
Did you even throw away the Bree?
Hello? I don't know what happened there. That was weird. I'm not surprised that I would end up hearing voices. I'm not. But I wasn't expecting it right there. Kevin, call back. We'll put you back on. How about Sam? Sam, what's going on?
I'm just hanging in there listening to everybody talk about the quarterbacks. And I just want to say, I just want the healthiest guy out there.
Yeah.
I don't care which one it is, because I've heard the arguments about, 75% of Lamar is worth, it's only worth 75% if the rest of the team is doing their job to 100% of their capabilities.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that this year. So that's why I say I want to see the healthiest guy out there.
I just want to see a win.
Well, I think that might be asking for a little bit much. But I understand what you're saying.
Play who you got to play. I mean, all the stops are out tomorrow, right? This is balls to the wall here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's given the people a lot to talk about, and for that, I guess we ought to be thankful.
I am.
So it's cool. I mean, I'm going to be rooting for them.
Yeah.
Until they goof up, and then I'll be off watching Mary Tyler Moore or something. I don't know.
Mike and Molly, I think, is on Sunday night.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Sam, thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure thing. 410-583-1057. Michael, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Bruce? Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Nothing. I just wanted to tell you. I told your station manager. I just wanted to congratulate you for the way you run your show with consistency. As far as last week, this week, on certain issues, and cutting people off when they need to be cut off. To use words that we really don't want to hear on your show.
Yeah, I try not to do that too often, Michael. And you really got to push me to get me to do it. So when you ever hear me do it, I've been pushed about as far as I can go.
And that's what I was going to say. I said I listened last week, and Bruce, I'm gonna use one of Vinny's terms, Vinny Serrano. Bruce used the D word like 3 bucks. Oh, Bruce running hot. Bruce don't usually run hot, so I know how much it meant to you because you've been on the radio with your brand of sports, but the music too. Remember we talked about the East and West and here. So I really appreciate the way you try to come with your expertise and your knowledge rather than just calling people names. I'm not going to say those names either, but the names rather than coming on here calling. Football is a team sport. Now, I'll say one more thing because I know a lot of time is getting short. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for Sean Smith. That's the head referee that he called it. Like, remember the Titans. Call it right, Red.
Yeah.
Call it right.
Oh, my gosh. That last game against Pittsburgh, the referees just put that one in their pocket, didn't they?
I think it was a guy named Alex something, so they're replacing him with this guy named Sean Smith, supposed to be the head referee tomorrow. So, oh, come on.
Oh, boy. This is no good. I don't know. Now I don't feel so good, Michael. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right. Well, thanks for the call. We'll talk again soon. I promise you. 410-583-1057. Ed in Towson, what's going on?
Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hey, I've been telling people all day long, and you coach offense, or you coach linemen, and I've been telling people all day long that it's harder to run against Pittsburgh than it is Green Bay. Am I right?
Oh my goodness! I mean, first of all, like against Green Bay, like you saw a desperate Ravens team.
Yes.
And I said that, like they're desperate. When you're desperate, your standard comes to play.
Sure does.
That's why Snoop was so successful. And I'll tell you this much before I address that. I'll address Pittsburgh.
All right.
I was talking to a coach. I'm always talking to coaches. I talk to them more than I talk to my relatives, and I really do. And we were texting back and forth. And when DJ Metcalf had that unfortunate incident,
yeah.
And this coach is not a soothsayer or anything like that, but he said they're done. I knew what was going to happen. The Raven, I knew what was going to happen, and they have. This is a golden opportunity. Your big dog, when he's out, that creates a lot of issues.
Sure does.
You know what? Now I'm bringing Kyle Hamilton up to the line of scrimmage, and I'm gonna have him go nuts. See, Bruce, I look at this from a coach's perspective. I never see. Yeah, you see the losses, you improve the losses, but when I saw DJ Metcalf get hurt, I'm like, it's over, dog.
Yeah.
When you're playing against these Ravens, they've had some mishaps, but they have a standard. They do. John Harbaugh, whether they like him or not, he's going to go or stay, we don't know. But the standard, Cleveland ain't got no standard. They're going to be Cleveland.
Yeah.
The Ravens, they have a standard, and last week they were desperate. They're like, oh, we might not go to the playoffs. Well, now you got no DJ Metcalf. Is Watt going to play?
Yes. But coming off that injury like that, I would be surprised if he plays more than 15 snaps.
Yeah. Now, I will answer, before I get off that question you talked about their defensive line. Here's the familiarity has a lot to do with success.
Sure.
Hayward, those guys, Highsmith, they know the Ravens as well as the Ravens know them. So what it's going to be is you're going to hope the big fella is going to have a good day and is on a heater again. And I don't understand. I mean, I get it. I'm not a fan, but I see this as the Ravens. This is a golden opportunity.
Sure is.
DJ's not playing.
No.
We're good. If Lamar or Snoop could win this game for the Ravens because they're going to play like the Ravens. They are so scared of not making the playoffs, and sometimes fear is a very driving force.
Yeah. You know the main thing they got going for them tomorrow night? That it's a road game.
Yes, sir.
That it's a road game.
Oh.
You don't want to play them at home this year. It's been terrible.
And you don't want to be – you're not going to beat – I just don't think – I've heard this a lot, and I've coached this. If you beat me one time, and I've only coached high school, so a couple times to play it again, we have the playoffs and then the championship.
Yeah.
If you beat me, I'll be damned. You're not going to beat me twice. And you're not going to beat John Harbaugh. You're not going to beat him in a game that's meaningful. People can say what they want about it. Look at that catch record. No, he hasn't won a Super Bowl in a while. But you know what? The man has done something right with that purple team. That's why y'all are so pissed off, because he does have a high standard, and I think they'll win. Take care, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, Ed. I appreciate it. Makes sense as always. Ed coaches high school football coaches. O-line was at DeMatha, and they play at a pretty high level, and so I'm always glad when he calls in. But, Aaron, he always calls in when it's too late, and I have to hurry him. That time I didn't have to hurry him at all. But he's right. You know, it just so much on the line tomorrow night, and that sounds like kind of an insipid thing to say, but it's true. You know, it's all there, you know, and it's really kind of the essence of sports if you think about it. You know, I'm coming up. I'm going to look you in the eye. You're going to look me in the eye. We're going to snap that ball. We're going to see what happens. The rivalry, you don't really have to build up. The rivalry has built itself over 30 years. I mean, we've got so many great memories of the Steelers and horrible memories of the Steelers. And that's another thing that makes this matchup so great tomorrow night. You know, these teams, And I've had Ravens on this show. I had Femi yesterday. I had Wally Williams. He comes on all the time, and they will tell you straight up, we hate those guys. It's not like a lot of rivalries in pro sports where hey, okay, let's go battle and then we'll have a beer afterwards. No, it ain't like that at all. I mean, even when the game's over, these teams still hate each other. And that's adding flavor to this matchup tomorrow night, as if it needed any more flavor. They don't like each other. Add to that the thing I just joked about with Ed, and that is it's a road game. The Ravens were not good at home at all. They have found the secret sauce on the road. And so I think that works in their favor tomorrow night. I really do. But let me repeat what I said something earlier. It's a 3.5-point spread. 3.5. You get 3 for being the home team. Okay? So that means it's really down to a 0.5 point. And that sounds about right. This is how it's going to come down. I'm not going to give you a score because I don't know the score. But I've seen enough of these games to know this. It's going to be a slugfest. There are going to be players getting hurt and carted off. And the game's going to be decided very late. Because these games are always that way. Would I like to see the Ravens just blow them out tomorrow? Yeah, but I don't think that's realistic. I think it's going to be a typical Ravens Steelers, and it's going to go right down to the wire, and it's going to be going to win late. The upside, keep this in mind. If the Ravens win tomorrow night, they'll have a home playoff game. We'll have at least one more game at M&T Bank Stadium. So that's something to root for. I mean, one more time at home. But then again, the way they've been playing at home, maybe not. NFL this afternoon, they have the exact same situation in Tampa Bay today that the Ravens are looking at tomorrow. Panthers and Buccaneers for the AFC South. That one starts at 4:30. Seahawks 49ers is tonight. Mike Popovic's up next. I want to thank all of you that participated. I want to thank my guests, Morgan Adsit and Rich Dubroff, and, of course, Aaron for taking care of us throughout the show. Baltimore, I love you madly. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm Bruce. We'll talk again next Saturday. Until then, see ya.
A friendly reminder from 105.7 The Fan. If you choose to drive high or drunk, you've become a weapon. And now the rest of us have to worry about you. Look, a crash only takes a few seconds, but the